Hi everybody, how are you? Once again, I'm John.
I'm Tony.
Grow, Love, and Expand. Welcome back. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Please always like, subscribe, share. Please help the channel grow. Grow, Love, and Expand, as you know, is always, it's about a community. Like-minded individuals to create positive thoughts, positive deeds, positive action to create positive change, right?
Absolutely.
As we know, right? If you want true change in your life, there's a couple of things that need to happen. What is that?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Action, right? You have to have an idea, but you also have to change your thought, and you have to put action to that behind the thought. Okay, and a lot of times people often say that it doesn't work out, or whatever I'm doing is not working out. Well, a lot of times because you haven't changed the thought process here, right? And believe it or not, whether you know it or not, subconsciously you are creating your reality or non-reality by a subconscious, unaware thought that you might be sabotaging yourself.
Right. I have a couple questions about that.
So then how would you stop sabotaging yourself? Right?
That's pretty difficult to do when you don't even know you're doing it to begin with, right?
Right.
So
what's an easy way to...
You have to change your entire thought process.
Right. What's an easy way to circumvent that?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure.
Affirmations.
Okay.
So you're basically, all you're doing with affirmations, it's like a form of meditation in a way, right? I always would say this, it's like, in the rosary, you do this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And 108, you just do this every day.
Right.
Right?
Eventually it sinks in.
It sinks in.
Right. I understand that.
I mean, I think a lot of people get it's kind of like, working out. How do I lose weight? Where do I start? It's like, and then they try to overcome. I got to go to the gym. I got to pay for a gym membership. I don't like gym. I'm embarrassed about my body. I don't want to go. Right? And all these things go in their mind, and they've stopped themselves before they even started. When it's like really as simple as doing 10 push-ups on the countertop.
Right. They're making more complicated than what it needs to be.
Right. It's one step at a time. And you create that small step that then generates a bigger step down the line.
Right. We receive only what we think we can have. So if we don't change that thought process of this is too much, it's too big, I'll never do it, I can't, then we're never going to receive what it is we're asking for.
Well, or it could take a tremendously long time.
Right.
You might receive it, but it might take a tremendous long time because you are subconsciously sabotaging yourself unknowingly because of your whatever vision you have of yourself, not worthy, or this could never happen, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And I think that's another thing where people get stunted in is they say they get stunted in that thought this could never happen, and they go, okay, and it's okay to have that thought. Like, we're human. We have those doubts. We have those thoughts. You just work through them.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you still don't do your affirmation.
Right.
And then eventually the affirmation takes place of the thought that was there originally that told you couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just starts to magically happen.
Right. Okay. So I have a question about manifestation versus creation. If you want to manifest something that is already there, there's already a separation between you and that thing that you want. But if you speak it as creation, then you're creating it. So wouldn't you be closer to a creation than you would to manifesting something that's already there where there's that gap?
I'm not quite sure what you're answering, but let me say this. So when someone says, I want to manifest this, they're already determining themselves that it's not there.
Right. That's what I meant.
Right.
there's already a gap between you and whatever it is that you want. So now you've got to get past that.
Well, you think you have to manifest it.
Right.
And therefore you go, it's like, no, you don't have to manifest anything. It's
already there.
It's already there. What you are attempting to do is become aware of it.
Right. So the word manifested, people use that word a little bit loosely, I think.
Remove it from your vocabulary.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because you're already creating doubt.
Right.
And yeah, exactly.
Right.
Remove it from your, and that's going to be like, what? That's crazy, right?
Yeah, because it's been such a buzzword recently. Everybody.
But think about it logically, right? You're trying to manifest something that's already there.
Right.
There's nothing to manifest. What you're attempting to do is become aware of it.
Bring it into your reality.
Become aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is the wealth there?
Yes.
Is the house you want there? Is the perfect job you want
the
there?
Body, the perfect body,
whatever it is that there?
Yes.
Okay, so all you're doing is walking into it.
Right.
You're becoming aware of it, right? That's what's fascinating. The moment you have the thought, it's already been created.
Right.
Now you just have to become, how do I get to the creation?
Yeah.
Well, you got to believe, and then you got to turn your, you see.
That's where the affirmations come in?
That's where the affirmations come in.
Right.
Because I think you're subconsciously, I mean, look, you look at a successful person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who's made it, not beforehand, right? Do they still have doubts? Yeah. But there's certain things they just don't have doubts about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you know, Tiger Woods, he knows how to hit a ball.
Right.
He does not have that doubt anymore.
He doesn't wake up in the morning and say, gee, I hope I can.
No, he's just trying to maybe improve it, tweak it a bit or whatever. But,
right.
I mean, you know, he knows he's going to go out there and play well.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, if I need to make this shot, he knows he can make that shot. That's not even a thought. That shot was already there, but now he just, you know, I mean, he can make the shot,
mm-hmm.
right? It doesn't even question his mind anymore.
Right, right.
The only question is, can I consistently make the shot? So that's what they try to tweak.
Right.
So, you know, and a lot of times that's just a part of having doubt or not having doubt,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right. They've already learned long ago what works for them, and you know, you always hear that golf visualization. It works, you know. Visualize the ball.
Yeah, you want
to into the hole, be the ball.
Yeah, you want to remove the word manifestation from your thought process.
Right.
Take that word out of your vocabulary.
Right. I always liked that word and like to use that word until I realized that that's not really what, you know, what I was going for.
See, most people,
time.
Right. Most people. That's why, you know, that's why it's hard for me to proceed in this industry, because I'm counteractive, or I'm on the counter approach to what a lot of these so-called gurus say,
right.
because they're so full of crap.
Right.
I mean, honest to God, they're just full of crap.
It's more esoteric, and
No, what they're doing is they're catching on key words,
mm-hmm.
and it's what people think is to be true. But what it's actually doing is stopping them from actually achieving their vision.
Right.
Because they think they actually have to manifest something, when in fact, you don't have to manifest anything at all. It's already manifested. Matter of fact, the moment you have the thought, it already was created.
Right.
Now you just have to become aware of the creation. So how do I become aware of the creation? And then people think they have to do all these things, when in fact, no, really all I have to do is just tune in your brain to that frequency,
mm-hmm.
into that thought process, and you'll walk into it.
Yeah, it's like the radio station. You're not tuned to that station, you can't hear the song.
No,
but
the real work goes into the knowingness of it.
Right.
You know, if you had enough faith the size of a mustard seed, you could move a mountain, right?
Right.
So there's some, you know, validity to that, in the fact that if you did believe that much, you could change a whole lot in your life, right? Without ever having to do a thing.
Right.
Now, once you believe that, you have to take the steps and the actions to move into it and move forward.
Right.
right? And so that's where fear and doubt stop people too. So it's like that movie, right? When people ask for patience, does God give you patience, or
No.
does God give you the ability to have patience in a situation?
God presents us more and more situations requiring patience in order for you to learn it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's
So be careful what you ask for. That's what they say, because you're going to get that,
in a way,
that thing that puts it in front of you that you have to react to and deal with.
Yeah.
I know.
And I think, sometimes people think they have to do more than they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, it's just becoming aware of it. And
Right.
once you have the knowingness, and you know what, I'm going to tell you something that's probably it's okay to be a little cocky. Okay, it's okay to be a little arrogant. As long as you're not like a jerk, right? But believing in yourself is a good thing, right? Having faith in yourself is a good thing. If you know you're right, then be right.
You can do it without belittling others. You don't have to.
No, but you don't also have to take their garbage.
Oh, no. That's not what I mean.
Yeah, you can simply move on.
Right. And it's okay to disagree with somebody, or
absolutely,
have differences of opinion or thought, but it's how you handle that. You just move away, and that's all you need to do. I think like-minded people do find each other eventually.
Well, it's like I've always said. So how do you know that your hypothesis is correct, right? And it's through observational awareness, right? You've tested it 1,000 times, and you go, God, and then this thing comes in to prove it. This thing comes in to prove it. And then this thing comes in to prove it. You're like, man, there must be something to this thought. Maybe I'm on the right track here, because it's being validated from so many different angles and areas, right?
Right.
And so that's how we progress. So it's okay to go, no, I'm right here. Yeah, no, you're not. I am. I got it. We're good. You can believe your way, and that's okay. But no, I'm pretty okay over here, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Being confident in yourself, having a little bit of arrogance, if that's what you want to call it, and still being kind, loving, and gentle, all works.
Yeah.
It's when you're a jerk and an egomaniac is
right.
when it doesn't work.
Right.
And I mean, inevitably, that's going to fail.
Right.
Because again, going back to our previous, you got to understand, the people that have taught you are the most, they're full of crap, most of them, because see, they tell you to do something, yet they do the complete opposite, most of them, right? So they say, I'm not saying don't pay your bills, be a good citizen, all that. Yet the powers that be don't pay their bills. They're not good citizens.
Taxes.
They treat people incredibly bad. So they rely on you and your moral compass when they don't have a moral compass to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes doing the right thing is believing in yourself and going, no, I don't believe in this anymore. This way of life doesn't work for me anymore. I want something different. And so many people have like a near-death experience. They have a grandfather died. They have a UFO experience. Whatever the case is, something that happens that transforms in life, and then it pulls them in a whole other direction. Mm-hmm. And this world that they were led to believe was true no longer works for them, and now they have to somehow go over here.
Right.
Well, that's a tremendous mind shift.
Yes, it is.
A lot of doubt, a lot of fears. So, no, this is not the way to go. This is the way to go. And
so you have to leave behind those people.
But you have to have faith and confidence over here.
Right.
And it's okay to have faith and confidence. It's okay to be strong in this vision of who you want to be, right? Because the truth of the matter is, most people don't want you to be strong in that vision.
Right.
Why? Because they're living over here in this world that was created, right? And that world is created is a lot of fear and doubt and mediocrity, right?
They want to keep you there.
They want to keep you there
Right.
because that's where they can control you. So, you have to remove yourself. So how do you do that, right? And so we look at this a little differently. I love that question because manifestation is just so like not the correct
It's
word.
not the right word. Yeah, it took me a while to realize that, I guess, but that's why I wanted to ask you what your thought was on that.
It's a shift in consciousness, and then
Yeah,
you say, "Well, how do I
absolutely.
shift this consciousness?" Because I've had this thought for so long, and it's like, well, first of all, you have to understand that there's nothing you really need to do other than we have to change the thought.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we change the thought? Well, some people take sabbaticals. Some people go on long walks. Whatever. Sit in your house and just going, I am worthy of this great success in my life, and just repeating it over and over and over with affirmation. And it's as simple as that.
Right.
Take the time to do it. Don't expect it to work overnight. It might not. But don't have an expectation to the outcome, right? Because you'll probably be disappointed. It's not happening as fast as you'd like. And when you remove the expectation, it probably will happen quicker than you had thought. So, that's, I think, really the big key. Yeah, it's fascinating, huh? Manifestation
It is.
Totally should remove from your vocabulary.
Right.
People just don't understand that.
I mean,
Because they've been taught that.
It's just not what people think it is. So.
Right.
Right.
They've been taught that by...
I've changed it to creation, and that's where I remain right now. What I want to create.
Or I got one even better for you. Don't title it.
Oh, okay.
Don't even put a word to it.
Don't label it.
Don't label it. Just let it be.
Okay.
And allow it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, we talk about the casino, right? And it's like, God, I want the bonus, 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 I want the bonus. Yet there was 5 line hits that gave you more than the bonus. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You might have because you wanted the bonus, you were sort of intending that you were not recognizing a line hit.
Yes.
And you could have subconsciously been blocking that through your energetic field, that line hit that would have got you more than the bonus, instead of just playing and allowing.
Right, because all that wanting keeps you in want.
That's exactly what it does.
You don't get it. It keeps you wanting.
That's it. And if you saw a line hit, you wouldn't recognize it because it wasn't a bonus.
Mm-hmm. True.
And so I'm not, I'm just using that as one example, but, it's like a lot of times the things, we focus on, right, we start to intend in our world. You can use the word, people will use the word manifest, or people will use the word create, but you're basically intending it. You're sending an intention, right?
Uh-huh.
And so you're subconsciously intending this or creating this in your world that, so, I mean, look, I would just remove the titles. You can use the words, okay? But sometimes I use the word creating. You're still expecting an outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So don't expect the outcome. Like, what I mean? Like, I would say don't title it.
So once you have something, say, that you want, you put it, once you have the thought, you've had it, you've put it out there to the universe, then let it go. Forget it. Because you've already...
You can sit and visualize it. You can look at pictures of it. You could have it in your vision.
You have to feel the feeling of having it.
Have the feeling of feeling you're intending it.
Right.
Right? And that intention then creates it.
Right.
But if you say, I'm creating this, they're going, no, you're not creating anything. It's already there. You're just moving yourself into that intention. So how do we move ourselves into that intention? Well, sometimes that takes a process of constantly dreaming, of constantly having it in front of you without the expectation of it. Just saying, I love this. This is what I want to do.
Right.
And you just put it in front of you. Or you have a picture of it and you just stare at it and meditate on it. And I'm worthy of this, right? Over and over and over. And so, you do that over and over and over, then that intention becomes reality. But I think sometimes you say, well, I want to create this in my life. Say, I want to create this in my life. Just be careful that, because see, when I hear people say, I want to create it, then they have an expectation of an outcome of what they're trying to create. When in fact, it's already created, because the minute you have the thought, it's created.
Yeah, that's why I said.
So now we need to move into it. So how do we move into it? Well, that's maybe where we want to set an intention. That's where we want to have a visualization of it. We want to have a understanding to where our brain can conceptualize it's okay to have this. Right? And so, it's a kind of a very fine line how you want to define it. You got to just be very careful there. I think is, if you say, I want to create this without expectation, good. Right? But it's already created. It's already there. Right? And so you're just moving into it. So the question really comes in, how do we move into it? And we have to get our mind right that it's okay to have this.
Right.
We have to believe that it's okay to have this. Right? And there's various ways to do that. But I think visualization's a good way. I mean, I love people who say, why are you looking at that car? You're never going to buy it. You can't afford it. Well, what's wrong with dreaming? What's wrong with that? The more you put that into if that's what you'd like, I'm not saying that's the end of all ends and things are just things. But if that's what you like, you wish to experience that, then what's wrong with looking at it? What's wrong with visualizing that? What's wrong with seeing that in your life every day? Because the more you see it, you start to feel it. And then when you begin to feel it, that's when the manifestation of the creation becomes aware to you.
That's when it happens in your life.
That's when the intention starts to become real. It's almost like, if you take the thought, and you bring it down to your solar plexus, right, into your base chakra, right, the sex organ, which is basically the birth of life, right, and you see it there start to manifest, and then you start to bring that manifest up through your chakra centers out into your third eye in the world, and you see the molecules and everything come together, right, and then that allows the brain to go, this is real. Right? So here's my point. Let's say I want a Corvette. Okay? All right. Do they make Corvettes? They make Corvettes.
Sure.
So they're already made. They're already there. What's stopping you from having that right now? The belief that you can have it. Right? And so sometimes by just sitting there, I'm worthy of this, I'm worthy or whatever, or you go down to the root and you see the car, you see the molecules go together, you see everything, and then it becomes real in your mind, in your third eye, and you visualize it and feel it in your body, then the world around you creates an opportunity for you to step into the ability to buy that car.
Right.
Whether it's a lotto win, whether it's a new job, whether it's an idea that creates a new stream of income, you know what I mean? And that's the difference, because then you have to have the courage to step into that, whatever it is that's going to create another stream of income, or whatever the case may be. Does that make sense?
Right.
So, anyways, answer your question?
Yeah, that was helpful. Thank you.
Well, I'm John.
I'm Joni.
For Grow, Love, and Expand, as always, please like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon. That'll tell you, when we're posting new. We try to do as much of these as we can. But believe in yourself, love yourself, and always, always be kind to yourself. Therefore, you'll be kind to others. Peace, love. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.